Hi, everyone. How are you all doing? I hope you're having a great day. Not too stressful. If you can like and subscribe, that'd be great. Thanks. You know, I need some help in understanding a few things, or even maybe being told that I'm wrong. But there are some things that are going in a certain direction that have me thinking very hard about what Trump's intentions are. He's all about power and control. We know that. And, I don't throw the word dictator around very lightly. If that's what you are, that's what you are. But Trump, the orange dictator, is planning a military parade on June 14th. Pretty much to celebrate his birthday. He says otherwise, I'll tell you that in a minute. But it's going to be a military parade like those of Russia and North Korea. But Russia, they always have them. They're called victory parades. North Korea, same thing. They call them Military Foundation Day. But it's a show of power. It's exactly what it is. But, that should tell you something right there. Because both of those countries are run by dictators. So now Trump is trying to set everything up so you can become part of their club. He'll tell you that he wants a parade because he was impressed by the France's Bastille Day parades. But I feel myself here that it's a dictator show of force, which is exactly what Trump wants to do, and be just like Russia and just like North Korea. There haven't been that many military parades in the United States, There were usually either parades during the president's inauguration, and those were all service members. And the first parade, though, to show our military and its force, was following the end of the Civil War in 1865. And then it wasn't until 1946, I think, to commemorate the end of World War II. And most recently, 1991, to celebrate the end of the Gulf War in Iraq. So they were mainly done for inaugurations and to celebrate the end of a war. Trump was denied a military parade during his first term because of its estimated $90 million price tag. And that it would cost many more millions to repair the roads that these tanks would drive over. And the weight's way too much. But this time around, it might be different. Because his birthday happens to fall on the 250th anniversary of the Army. So that's a reason to celebrate, to have a few fireworks, a small parade, I guess, and to honor these men and women in the armed forces. Not to honor Trump as he stands there on a big podium as they all salute him going by with all their big guns and tanks and everything else. That orange old man now has an excuse to have this parade because he'll be honoring the Army and its anniversary. Yeah, right. Like he's ever honored anything but himself. Jesus. He wants to be saluted like Kim Jong-un and Putin. He wants to stand up there and just be the center of attention. What a huge boost it'll be for his already overinflated ego. Now, here's the other part of all this that should enrage everyone, just piss you off. Trump's new budget proposes $1 trillion for defense, and then cuts to education, foreign aid, the environment, health, and public assistance. And a recent quote pertaining to Trump's tariffs comes from Warren Buffett, where he stated, "Trade should not be a weapon. Trade could be an act of war." You think? So now it's time for Americans to kind of start to panic, okay? Because let's put it all together. Trump started with Elon Musk, trying to find millions and trillions of dollars, which he failed at. Didn't happen. And then, so now his budget proposal includes $1 trillion for defense. He's taking those funds away from the middle class, the poor, the sick, and children to pay for his big army. There's absolutely no denying it. He is literally going to spend millions on a military parade to show force because of his lack of manhood and for him to be the focus. This is exactly what Jong-un and Putin do. The focus for them is on their military shows. They would rather have their people hungry, sick, dying, poor, and uneducated, so they can build armies and control their people. I would love it if I was wrong. But now what President Dumbass is obviously setting up is a total destruction of our country, based only to feed his ego and become the king or the dictator that he so desperately wants to be. I'm not exaggerating here. Just start lining up all the ducks. I am not saying all this or doing all this or asking for any kind of support to become monetized on YouTube. Okay? I want this video to go out there and be shared by everybody. Please, just share it. I mean, I'm not the expert on all of this, but my thoughts matter. Your thoughts matter. All of us matter. So maybe if people were viewing my videos, excuse me, we can just act, respond, be called to action a little bit more, because we're trying. We're trying out there, but we just have to take it a step further. Thank you for all of you who have seen my videos. I really appreciate you. And whether I get 1 view to 600 views, at least I talked to someone. It helps my stress. But then if you agree with me, it's just all the better, because we got to unite. So what I was thinking was sharing is probably going to be the most important thing right now, because this is all getting extremely scary. You know, all his stupid stuff that he does every day, the stuff that he's talking out of his ass about, the dementia that he has. But now I'm starting to put pieces together about what he's doing with our defense and our money and building big armies, having big parades. It's not good. So if you could like, subscribe, share, that would be awesome. And comment. Please, nobody comments. Few loyal people do. But let's get together on this. Can't say it enough. And I think I've already said it enough. So until next time, I guess I will see you all. Bye-bye.